from Taiwan Productions. I wanted to take a quick break from the audio stuff. You know, I'm an audio engineer. I still do a lot of other things. I'm a collector of a lot of different things. I get into weird hobbies every now and then. But one thing I really got into was survival and bug out situations. I was a Boy Scout for many years, so that all that stuff kind of came natural to me. And but one thing that I realized was that there's a lot of information on the web, the interwebs, if you will, about, you know, things that you have to have, and you know, all these expensive things, and people sell packages, you know, they're $400 or $500 sometimes. I've seen them upwards past $1,000 of just random stuff. You know, most of it you can use, a lot of it you probably won't ever use or really need. And the thing about it is, it just adds weight to your stuff. And if it's not something that you need, then don't worry about you know, spending a bunch of money on items you won't use. I just wanted to go through a quick list of things that I feel are the most important, basically from my experience from survival and the like. Okay? The ability to make fire is number one, because fire does a lot of things for you. It keeps you warm, it cooks your food. A lot of times if you do have to kill something out in the you know, out in the wild, you want to make sure that, you know, you don't want to go sushi on it. You know what I'm saying? You want to kill any kind of bacteria or anything that's going on. And it makes it taste better and all that stuff. Also, the smoke, a lot of times you can add things to the fire that'll actually keep certain insects away and kind of, you know, protect you as far as that's concerned. And it seems to scare off a lot of animals as well. Regarding fire, people try to sell all these different things. What I've learned is you can never have too many ways to make a fire. For instance, I found these on eBay. They're like $2. I bought a whole bunch of these. It has magnesium, and then it has a flint on there. There you go. That's one way, but really the best thing to do is just carry around some lighters. You know, lighters, they make fire, they last. You know, if you have a few of them, I mean, that fluid's going to last in there for so long, and if it dies, you have a backup. Okay? And then the other thing is matches. You want to have all sorts of different matches. Obviously, you want them in waterproof containers. Something like this will do. You don't have to spend very much money on these. It's got a seal. It holds some matches. It's got a striker on there if you need it. Like I said, it's waterproof, and this is bright orange. So if you drop it in the grass or something while you're building a fire, you can easily find it. And it's got a flint on the bottom as well. Although I don't think that flint is going to be very good or last very long. The other thing I have too is if I don't need or have time to build a whole big ass fire, I also have two emergency stoves. Now one of them just pops up like this. It's self-contained. I just leave it in the box that it comes with. They come with these tablets. These tablets you light, and they stay on fire for however long they stay on fire. And then these are, you know, they're fuel tabs, so you can usually with one or two of these you can get a pot of water boiling and do some cooking. Cook some ramen noodles if you want, something like that. Let me close that back up here. I have another version of this. It's kind of gimmicky. You don't really need it, but it's essentially the same thing, only it's flat, and it comes with 3 fuel tablets. And you just take that out and you just fold up these edges, and you got yourself a fire. Now the other big thing is a mess kit. It's got a pot. It's got a cup in the pot, and it's got kind of like a skillet thing in the lid. You can use this as a bowl, or you can use it to cook on as well. But it all goes in. It all goes in here. The lid goes on top. This arm swings around. Done. Now they make all sorts of different versions of this. They have aluminum. They have stainless steel. I tend to go with aluminum just because it's lighter. And then in a bug out bag, you want to save as much weight as possible. One thing with fire is you need tinder. A really cheap, affordable way to get tinder is to take your dryer lint, put it in a bag, seal it, push all the air out, boom. Nice and flat, sticks in your bag, it doesn't weigh hardly, it's like a bag of weed basically. It's very light. I have dogs, so mine has dog hair trapped in it, and so that'll help it ignite as well. Another cool thing you can do, which I haven't made yet recently, but I used to have these candles. It was basically made out of a tuna can, and in the tuna can you put cardboard, and you just soak the cardboard in wax, and then you put it in there, and that baby will stay lit for forever. The one that I had never actually burnt out. I just lost it over time. So anyway, with fire, those are your basics. That stuff's cheap, affordable, and it's important. I also have this little convenient little tool. Folds up like a pocket knife. Take it apart. I got myself a fork, a spoon, knife, that's a can opener. Got a knife over here. And they put it on the spoon end so I can use it with the fork. That was a good idea. A corkscrew, in case you need that. And that just folds up like so. Boom, done. Put it in your thing, it doesn't come apart. The other must-have is knives. You need as many knives as you can carry, really. On this particular bug out bag, I keep my little pocket knife right here handy, and I also mount, I have a longer blade knife, kind of similar to like a Bowie knife, that I keep on here. Well, here's one of my knives. And so I made a little sheath for it because I was trying to get my leathering on. I bought a bunch of leather, and I just was like, let me make a little sheath, but the handle part fell off, so I gotta fix that. An axe doesn't hurt. This particular axe is pretty cool. I can put this on a belt, and it just clips open like this, slides out. It's got I can use that in for a hammer, whatever I need to, really. And it just slides back in the sheath there, closes off. And what's cool about this one is it's got a little flint on the bottom of it, and it stays in pretty tight. You don't really have to worry about losing it. And anyway, it just goes in the handle. There's a flint. You can use the axe to spark it if you need to. As far as weapons, knives are obviously, they can be used for weapons. I carry this. Other really useful things is these tree, like chainsaw things. Full-on links like a chainsaw would have. The ones you can find at Walmart, they're not very good. They're basically like piano wire with clips on the end of them. They're not going to cut through anything. This thing is rated to cut through 4 inches of wood, and I have tried it on, I think the thickest was probably 6 inches, and it works great. Really, honestly, you can probably just cut through anything as long as it'll go around it. It'll just take you a little effort. Another really cool tool to have is a shovel. that fits in this little bag. It's light. It folds up here, and this, you want to have something like this because if you need to take a dump in the woods or something like that, you need to be able to bury it. There's different things that you'll need to bury. You might have to dig on some ground. Maybe you're putting up a tent or something, and you have to kind of get something set up. This one's cool. It's a, I don't have it tightened all the way down right now, but it doesn't wobble like that usually. So I got my shovel, I got kind of a saw thing here, and I got a pickaxe that comes with it as well. It comes with a little compass on there, but you know. Speaking of compass, you always want to have one. You always want to know which direction you're going, and hopefully you know how to read a map. If you don't, because this day and age it's not really something that's taught, you really should learn how to do it and find a map of the area that you're going to be in. If you need to bug out, you need to know where you're going, or at least have an idea of, you know, if I head north, this is where it's going to take me, or if I head east, this is where it's going to take me. Is always a good thing to have. You always need to know what direction you are. Knife sharpeners, I have. They're buried in here. I don't feel like pulling them out. You want a knife sharpener? I have 3 different ones. I have a big stone one. I have a small little one that fits on a keychain, and then I have one that has like the V, and you go. Rope is another really big thing. You want to have rope, and you want to have a tarp. Really, if all you have is a rope and a poncho, pretty decent, you know, weight poncho, you can do anything with that. You can make a tent out of a poncho simply by taking the hood, tying the hood up, and tying that to a tree limb or something and pulling it up, and then you stake down the ends, or you can use a rope to tie down the ends, and you got yourself a tent. You can sleep on it if the ground's wet. You can put this on there. I carry 2, so you can do that. Obviously, you can wear it, you know, if it starts raining. This one will fit around my bag. Paracord's good for the rope. Twine's good. Anything lightweight you can use. The more the merrier, I always say. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, as they say. Those are essentially your basics, okay? Other than light. You need light. The best lights you can get that you can afford. LEDs are great because they save your battery a lot, and usually they're really bright. And but it's always, in my opinion, it's always good to have good old-fashioned mag light. The batteries are heavy, so you know that's going to add weight to your stuff. But you can use, you know, I'm talking about the long ones. You can use them as a hammer. I've done that many times, to hammer in stakes, to hammer in different things. It's so heavy, if you had to use it as a club, you could, and it provides light as well. There's also a trick with flashlights if you're running out of fire making stuff. You can actually break the glass in the bulb and use the electricity coming out of the wires to actually spark a fire, which this would come in handy for. Anyway, so that's the essentials. The other thing that you should consider, dry goods, actual dry goods that last for years. You don't want, you know, Pop-Tarts and all that stuff. They're not going to cut it. They don't have enough nutrients. They're you know, they break and crumble easy. They really don't last long, and they're not going to give you the energy that you need. This stuff, it's all dehydrated. Just add water. There's many ways to purify water. I have tablets as well. I can boil it. I have bottles that have the filtration and whatnot. So that's always an option, but you always want to be able to get water. That's another big thing. This food, it's more of a luxury. Yes, you can live off the land if you know what you're doing, but that's something that you know, you either need to be with people that know how to do it, or you need to learn how to do it yourself. Um, and if you can afford it and you can carry it, go ahead and just get some dehydrated stuff. Don't buy into the hype of the real, you know, I've seen stuff, it's like $30 for like a day's worth of meals. It's just ridiculous. You know, they're trying to cash in on people's fears. So that pretty much wraps it up. It's a long video, but as I said, this is just like the basics. I do have more stuff that I kind of add on, but I made sure that I got everything that I needed right away, and everything past that is pretty much just a luxury item. Obviously, weapons. It is my belief that if stuff does hit the fan and there's no economy, bullets will probably be the currency. As much as I love Fallout, I don't think bottle caps are going to be the thing. I think it's going to be bullets, and so it doesn't hurt to have a type of ammunition that everybody would need, something like a 9mm or something like that. That is really common. You're going to be able to. They're small, they're light, so you'll be able to stash up on them. Get as many as you can, even if you don't own a weapon. It may not hurt to have some so that you can exchange for things that you might need. Anyway, I hope you liked that video. I'm going to try to get back to doing some audio stuff for y'all. And subscribe and let me know if you have any questions or comments or whatever. If there's a common area, you can do that. So, all right. Thanks, guys.